While it's been a pleasure and a difficult situation after especially the Minister of IT in Karnataka spoke extremely well of Karnataka's overwhelming happenings. It's been a pleasure for me to come all the way from the other happening state of Gujarat to Bangalore. The weather is fantastic, so we are also loving it here. Having said that, I represent the government power distribution company of Northern Gujarat, which is based out of Ahmedabad. And I'm also the managing director of the Gujarat Power Corporation. So to give a brief of what we do and then coming into artificial intelligence, we are the corporation who are leading India's green energy transition from this present portfolio into the next ambitious target of 450 gigawatts in the world. GPCL is also the nodal company which is building the world's largest solar renewable energy hybrid park, which is of a whopping 30,000 megawatts, and it is going to be the world's largest renewable energy park, which in about a year's time from now will be visible from space. That's what we anticipate. We are also the nodal company which is coordinating the next green hydrogen growth story in the country of an ambitious 5 million metric tons per annum of green hydrogen production that is expected by 2030. Gujarat ambitiously is willing to contribute about 75%. There is 3 million metric tons per annum with a whopping investment of $23 billion that is coming to Gujarat. So we're running that. The next emerging technology that we are into is into offshore wind, which mostly is seen in Western Europe, Scandinavia, and the eastern part of China. So the next destination would be the western coast of India in Gujarat and the eastern coast in the state of Tamil Nadu. Karnataka, we have a good touch because of the power distribution and the artificial intelligence technologies. That is why we are here. To this August forum, why I speak is we are also here to look in for the next two happening things. That is artificial intelligence in smart grid management for an uninterrupted power supply. You're all sitting in this hall because some light is happening. I'm speaking to you, some sound is coming, and we're able to communicate because there is some kind of backup power which is coming to this. Imagine if there is a blackout or an interruption in power, the entire session goes for a toss. So that is where the invisible hand comes, and that is talking about robust infrastructure. We're talking about informed decision making through artificial intelligence, smart grid management, distribution centers, smart metering systems, wherein the coming days to do is completely to do with artificial intelligence. We are also into two major things. One is the SCADA acquisition distribution systems, and we are also coming up with one of the world's largest energy accounting data center right there in Gujarat. So this energy accounting center will account for about 45 gigawatts. That is about 45,000 megawatts of energy. So that will be one of India's largest energy accounting center. I would invite industries here as the great job done by the IT minister earlier. So you're looking for opportunities. So we are talking about another big data center which is going to come, and that too exclusively for energy. And if you talk about the next happening decade for India, India's growth story is the number one sector is going to be infrastructure, and the number two sector is going to be renewable energy and its associated infrastructure. My dear colleague who is also from Kochi Metro is also working in a parallel green hydrogen project, so which is of interest to you. So we are talking about cloud computing, data centers, and robust infrastructure where artificial intelligence could play a huge role. You mean the data coming up from 6 crore customers in a state like where I come from? A parallelly sized state like Karnataka would also be having an equal number of population and households. So much of data to be managed, so much of artificial intelligence decision making to be happening without disrupting the knowledge tank that's happening. So without further delay, I would request my other colleagues also to give an introduction. So from my side, the introduction to the power sector and where artificial intelligence could be induced is most welcome. I would also welcome all the industrial people or industries and companies who are here to please come have a view of the growth story, and please do come into the new happening sector of artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh Babu. Myself, Sanjay Kumar. I think I have already been introduced. See, we have just seen a very vibrant session of the minister and eminent personnel from the industry. So we are all talking of AI. Can somebody tell me how old AI is from the audience? Please. Pardon? Very correct, very correct. A big round of applause for him. So we are saying, telling that AI is the future. Of course, AI, we are talking from 1956, invented by John McCarthy. Basically, from that time also, we are doing it. As far as AI is actually not a very, it's basically simply a buzzword. And everywhere we are saying that no, AI is something big and then AI engineers can do. It's not like that. See, there are domains. So each domain has to do their own work. AI can help in framing the algorithm, that's all. Remaining things can be done by the departmental, I would say the departmental or domain sector itself. Like AI is actually like a concept for basically converting your computers or a machine into enable it to learn and work like a human with the help of machine learning. Machine learning also further categorized into supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced learning. And then further, if you go further deep, that is called deep learning, where you can use ANN, RNN, CNN for further data analysis. AI basically does your three activities, that is classification, clustering, and predictive analysis. And with these three works, almost all the domain of the world, any departments, any work will get covered. Only thing is that we have to be smart enough to design our problem statement. If our problem statement is properly designed, definitely an algorithm can be very well written, because everything is a data oriented. And for your all information, daily we are generating around 500 exabyte of data. I repeat, 500 exabyte. Exabyte is actually 10 power 18 exabyte of data. So we have got, there is no dearth of data. So AI only we have to just decide a model and then you train it and then evaluate it. And then after several rounds of basically training, that model will be fit for the purpose. Now coming to the Kochi Metro, we are doing, as our colleague has said, that we are thinking of bringing in hydrogen boats, hydrogen buses for our feeder bus, because we are entering into the power sector also. And as far as Kochi Metro is concerned, 2-3 AI projects we are doing. First is that for predictive analysis, we call it switches or points, where the train goes from one track to other track. So those machines are called point machines. So there we are using the predictive analysis, so that, because those are very vital asset. If it fails, the entire train operation gets stopped. So we are doing that predictive analysis, so that we will come to know before it actually fails. And then we are going for this gender and age and the classification for our stations passengers, so that based on that requirement we can regulate the trains, like sometimes more ladies, more children. So accordingly we are just doing that. And then we are doing this traffic forecast also, so that if something is likely to come, so that accordingly we can increase that or decrease the train. So I think, as we know that it's in this digital age, it is difficult to live without AI. So everyone is doing AI. Somehow we are just talking, everyone else can talk on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so given the context of the panel, cloud and its impact on infrastructure, I thought I'll take maybe 20 seconds to first demystify something. Very often when you hear the term cloud, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? It's typically public cloud, right? Some infrastructure that is somewhere and you can use it. That's only partially correct. I think what we told the industry almost about, I think it was 2018, just before COVID. We said cloud is not a destination. Cloud is an experience, right? How you choose technology, how you deploy technology, how you consume technology. I think that is fundamentally what cloud is. So cloud is the experience. This as a context, what has cloud given you? Cloud has given you the ability to choose different kinds of technologies. But more importantly, cloud has allowed you to focus on the outcome, right? Because if you look at maybe about 10 years back, or maybe even 7-8 years back, people used to spend a lot of time on what is the kind of infrastructure I'm buying? Is this good enough? Will it last me for 3 years? Will it last me 5 years? Will it be working? Uptime, downtime? With the advent of cloud, those conversations have gone. It is, how quickly can I do this task, right? How quickly can I react to a market change? How quickly can I have a competing product? So the discussion has moved from the type of infrastructure to the outcome that you're trying to drive. So in my opinion, that's the first benefit that you have of cloud. It gives you choice. It gives you the ability to consume as per your demand. And it changes the conversation completely from what you have to what you want to achieve. Why did I start with all of this? Because I think as a company, we have ensured that the same cloud experience is available to customers on-prem. So you can still not bother about who's managing it. You're paying for an SLA, click, 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 you deploy infrastructure, you have expertise to be able to help you achieve an end outcome. And the entire emphasis moves from you and your teams spending time managing the infrastructure to actually driving outcomes that are more important to you. You could be enterprise, where your outcome is business. You could be public sector, where your outcome is citizen services. You could be government, whose outcome is faster governance, right? So you're going to move that complete focus from what you have and how to run to how to achieve your objectives. And that's what we are focused on. Number two is sustainability, a presentation that I made earlier today. It's not only about how much of capacity you can run, but it's also how you can maximize that outcome from the optimal infrastructure that you have. So I'll pause with these thoughts and pass it on to the rest of the panel and maybe come back. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon to the panelists and all the delegates here. Myself, Ramesh, I'm from C-DAC. I just want to briefly introduce C-DAC's contribution towards the compute and data infrastructure in India. So you all know the C-DAC is the company so it's from MIT, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So C-DAC built the first supercomputer in India in 1989. So after that, I'm coming back to the recent activities. In 2017, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji launched the National Supercomputing Mission. So it's a very huge mission. The C-DAC is the implementing agency. Under that mission, we have a mandate of commissioning 20 petaflop compute plus in addition to that data storage, and give a provision across several cities in a distributed manner rather than keeping the entire thing in a single city. Commission the entire setup of 20 petaflop. So as part of this mission, but we could achieve 25 petaflop as of now. So we surpassed the goal what we have set. We have commissioned 28 supercomputers across the country as of now. Some are located in Bangalore. So one is in our C-DAC center itself in Baipanhalli. So 1 petaflop machine. So there is another supercomputer which is present in ISC, Indian Institute of Science. The overall capacity as of now is 25 petaflop, as I said, and we are going towards increasing it to close to 100 petaflop very soon. As part of that 100 petaflop compute, what we are going to get here, 20 petaflop compute, we are deploying it in C-DAC Electronic City. C-DAC Electronic City. So very soon, in few months, we are going to deploy there. This is one aspect. So this is with respect to the infrastructure. The second part, so we have infrastructure present, but so do we have the trained manpower which can actually utilize the infrastructure, this data center infrastructure efficiently and deploy their applications and use it very efficiently? So we also do a lot of upskilling. As of now, roughly 18,000 manpower got trained to use HPC and data center facilities across the country. So the number is 18,000. So that's a huge contribution towards building the capacity. The second thing, there are 6,000 active users which are using this infrastructure, 28 clusters of supercomputers, what I have told already. 6,000, around 100 institutes are using these facilities, which includes IITs, MSMEs, startups, as well as NITs, some of the NITs. Even we are also open to the universities where these universities or institutes or startups or MSMEs are lacking infrastructure to really roll out their applications and do some R&D. So this is one very major activity what we are doing as part of National Supercomputing Mission. In addition to this, NSM Phase 2 we are going to launch very soon. It is at the stage of DPR, preparing the proposal, and we are going to come in a very big way with the support of Mighty and our Minister Jitendra Prasad ji. So that will be definitely in combination of not just data center or compute. We are also trying to merge quantum into it, because that is the emerging thing. We don't want to be behind. So we have to combine these two facilities. So data center is not just data alone now. The compute and data should be together in a single place, where the data migration is really very challenging. So this is all about the activities what like C-DAC is contributing towards data center plus compute facilities what we want to give it to the country. So with this I am passing it to the next panelist.
Good evening. I am Lakshminarasimhaiah. I am from CAIA, Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. That's a DRDO laboratory. I'm not sort of a business type of an entity in that sense. So we only serve a body. So I will not go specific to any of those aspects of thing. One thing I want to tell is, having looked at AI for quite some time now, there is a lot of hype about AI. So our own investments in AI should be goal-oriented towards our own interest rather than going by the hype cycle.
So good evening, everybody. Especially after the chief guest session, it is tough to contain and have people alongside, but little bit late entry because I was also busy with Honorable Minister exchanging few things. That's why, although being the moderator of the session, but made little late, but I believe Mahesh took over and wonderfully executed the things as expected. So the thing is, this is a very interesting session. First of all, I would like to say that, building agile and resilient infrastructure. So AI's impact on cloud and data center evolution is basically we're talking about. And we all must understand one thing, that AI is leaving a deep impact not only on the functioning of data center or even cloud, but I would say that this is the future. We must understand all across the globe, you see the top global organizations, even it has posed a threat, a serious threat to the employment. I would say that human resource requirement is reducing day by day, and the innovation, like we was looking at Sanjay ji, the way every organization is pushing up, like C-DAC, everywhere you are introducing AI. I was previously, now I'm in Ladakh IT secretary, and apart from all other areas, I'm leading, I'm secretary for rural development, secretary transport, secretary disaster management, and secretary science technology, and even MD Sidco there, just to add to my challenges. But everywhere, I'm honestly telling that we are introducing AI one way or the other, because we have no choice. It is not something out of trending things we are doing, but I am telling you that AI holds the future. Like, the more you try to improvise, say predictability, we used to talk about interpolation, extrapolations, planning things for the future, forecasting. So now AI is doing almost everything. Robotics, it has taken over. AI based devices are very much available. Okay, very generic example I will share with you. You watch weather forecasting by a very popular Hindi channel, Aaj Tak. I think it is all AI based. The lady standing there is not actually, this is all combo of same AI based kind of thing. So I mean to say, now this is the next in thing, and we have to maneuver our things, in this age of, resilient infrastructure, agility, and these models have to come up wherein we have to pitch in AI. And I'm very thankful to the organizers, Elets Technomedia, that they have brought up this very important India AI Summit, which is the need of the hour. This is the improvisation required, and it was great to listen, Honorable Minister. In Karnataka, Karnataka is doing a lead thing. In fact, Honorable Minister, just before I walked in here, was telling me to replicate some good practices taking from here the way they have, because Ladakh is still growing up in an evolutionary stage. So I was just sharing with him, I am coming up for all of you sitting here, the stakeholders, a food for thought for you. We are in the process of introducing electronic manufacturing cluster out there in Ladakh. Because of the natural conditions, you see people go up in Europe and those places. Why they go up north and all? Because they find the climatic conditions are very suitable. You want cold conditions as well as availability of water and all. Everything is in abundance there. So I think Ladakh is very well suited, and apart from that, strategically, it's a pride of the nation, crown of the nation. So any startups or anybody who is interested, we will welcome you with a red carpet there. That is one message I thought I should give to you. And apart from this, this AI Summit offers so many of things. So going further and forward, I will have some quick questions. Especially, I would like to ask our friend from HP, like can you share that how artificial intelligence is influencing, the design of data centers? And apart from that, are there new innovative design principles and structures which are a resultant of it? Can you please throw some light on it?
Sure. So, at the expense of being repetitive, I think number one, what cloud and data centers have basically provided to us is choice of platforms, being able to quickly, identify resources needed, deploy them, and focus more of their time in getting the outcomes rather than focusing on what the technologies are. And, when it comes to specifically designs of data centers, and we are seeing a lot of this, traditional data centers are not capable of handling AI, right? Let's be very clear. Because typically the earlier data centers used to be about 8 to 10 kilowatts a rack typically. That's the way they were designed. And that was more than sufficient for standard compute. Today, you just look at a single server with 8 GPUs, it's 10 kilowatt. So which means effectively an entire rack can handle one server. So it has demanded new kinds of designs. It has demanded new kinds of cooling technology. And that is very, very clear what is being adopted. And I'm sure you all would have heard my colleagues from the industry, STT. I'm sure you all will hear other data center providers also. Everybody is now focused on sustainable data centers, green energy, renewable energy, liquid cooling, traditional water-based solutions. I think a lot of these innovations are coming into play, and this is what is going to drive the adoption of AI very quickly in the near future.
Good, excellent. So what about, now I'll come to you, Sanjay ji. Please tell me, like in Kochi Metro, like you are doing something different. We're just talking about that. Can you quickly tell us 3 very innovative and AI-based kind of things either you have implemented or you are going to implement in times to come?
Yes. So actually, in fact, we are trying 4 or 5 things to get it implemented. One thing which is in the process of implementation is actually crew management. So far, we are doing it manually. So there we are not getting the proper, sometimes the crew are getting sick or something like that. So we have built up one platform, and that has been given to all the crew, our train operators. So along with that, then we have scheduled our the platform, we call it crew management, AI-based crew management. So this will basically make your the scheduling for next 1 month, so that everybody will come to know if some changes are there, they will come to know in advance. And then immediately it will take a pool of the free train operators, so the train operation will not get hampered. This is number 1. Number 2, as I told in the previous addressing, that we are doing this gender and age classification. We are capturing our AFC data. We are already having our cameras at all the stations. So with that, we are taking this video clippings, and then we are analyzing that how many in a particular duration of time, how many people have, out of that, how many male, female, age-old people, and then based on that, we will do some analytics, and then we will regulate the train according to that convenience. And thirdly, then one more thing we are doing is our traffic demand forecast, because sometimes some crowd has come, or some meeting has come, or some sports event has come. So that time we will come to know that, okay, here this much of crowd is going to take place, and then accordingly that is already integrated with my system. One more good thing is that as far as the power saving, there is called automatic train operation system. So in that it will take the overall power, what power is getting consumed, and then if further it will try to save the power by basically regulating the coasting and braking of the train, so that we will be using around 10 to 20% less power to save the power, and ultimately. And one more, this innovative things, I think Kochi Metro is the only metro since we started with the power with my colleague Mr. Mahesh. So Kochi Metro is only a metro having 52% of carbon neutrality, basically regenerative powers. We are using 52% solar, and we are making our all effort to make it 100% in the years to come. So this is good thing, and we are looking for the hydrogen also. Thank you.
Great to know that. In fact, this is what is expected, and I believe, although one of the oldest and the most successful in terms of commentation model is, local train of Mumbai. I wish they pick some lessons out of your some leaves out of your book, and they try to implement these AI interventions, because you will find so many viral videos these days, especially in monsoon and whatnot, like people are risking their lives. If I wish something like that comes up, some good things are picked up, replication of good practices is the need of the hour. That's what I was just discussing with our Karnataka Honorable IT Minister. And I wanted to pick some best practices, so he extended an invite that pick up some good things and try. So this is how it should happen. The states should learn from each other. So, and Gujarat is well known. Mahesh has been a great contributor since last, I believe, a decade or so there. So Mahesh, can you throw some light, like what exactly interventions you are looking at in Gujarat Power, where you are at present? And you can take some other mic also. Yeah. So I would love to listen from you, because Gujarat has been pioneer in so many of such things, and AI is the latest in thing, and I am sure you won't like to miss out at this opportunity.
Thank you for this opportunity. So basically, I would speak from two contexts initially. One is from the existing power grid systems. So why AI? Because you should not be simply talking about AI just because AI is happening the world over. I think it has to be really, really focused, as what it was told. In terms of the power sector, what's happening is we have a huge grid that is almost like the world's third largest grid that we're having. Everybody would be glad to know and not surprised that India has not had a blackouts after 2012. So you can imagine a blackout is like an entire country going blackout without interrupted power. So it is not happening just because of that, because there's a constant injection of power that is happening. If you talk about how we are introducing AI into this, why AI? AI is something called automation. Artificial intelligence comes in the way of predictive analysis and predictive maintenance. So suppose there is an energy guzzling state, something like Maharashtra or Gujarat or Tamil Nadu, which is industrial manufacturing hubs. So these states pull out a lot of power from the existing grids. And there must be other industrial clusters, apart from which there are also city clusters, something like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad. So these are all clusters which draw from the grid. What AI does is it predicts where the drawal of power is going to be during the day of power. Especially when you all at home is in the morning, right from 6 to 9, when you go to getting ready for the office, your maximum consumption happens that time. That is where the peak demand comes. And during the day, it goes down. And again, evening after 6 o'clock, when the women come back home, they start their mixers, grinders and everything, your washing machines, the power pickup again goes up. So this is where artificial intelligence comes into play. It does a predictive analysis of the peak hour demand during a day, the peak hour demand during a week, the peak hour demand during a month and over a period of time, especially during summers when the air conditioning and the district cooling needs a lot of power. So this AI, which is being presently introduced, has a predictive analysis of how it is going to be. They start pulling the power from the grids. Suppose the southern grid is asking for more power, it will be compensated from the eastern grid. Suppose the northern grid is drawing more power, it will be taken off from the southern grid and driven to the northern grid. So this AI tool automatically evacuates and transmits the power to wherever it is required. You will be more surprised to see that India is one of the most redundant grids in the world. Redundant means uninterrupted power without blackout. It is not a joke because we are the third biggest energy grid in the entire world, thanks to the continuous growth story. Second, talking from the other side, like what you told, like weather forecasting models. This is the peak hour demand during the part of the year, and this is going to be high during the summers, or this is going to be the requirement of heaters during winters, especially states like Jammu and Kashmir, Leh Ladakh, Northeast, where the winters are going to be very heavy. So this is where our predictive maintenance models work, and we dispatch the powers. So we also have something called state load dispatch center in every state, which dispatches power according to this predictive maintenance models. So that is where artificial intelligence is going to come. Second, we also house data centers in every state. Like every state has a huge data center, which is a powerhouse of data. Something like the UID authority, or something like your land revenue department, or something like the ration card data. Power sector also has data of every household with his address, phone number, with the house address, and each house. We're talking about 140 crore people. So we're talking about 140 crore data. So this data also requires a huge security, which is protected from cyber strikes, and which is also again, vulnerable for any kind of, inundation from the outside world. So that is where the people from the industry who are sitting in this room can pitch in terms of cyber security, in terms of creating data centers that are redundant without losing data. The third part is where I would represent the other company, which I am also the managing director. That is the Gujarat Renewable, which is a power company. So as I told you earlier, we are building the world's largest hybrid energy park. So that is like the 30,000 megawatt park, which is right on the Indo-Pak border. So next major area is where Leh Ladakh is heading on the Aksai-Chin border. So that is the next investment I'm sure Ladakh is also going to do. So that is where the huge data centers are going to come. I'm talking about the world's second largest data center also, which is going to be coming there. So handling 45 gigawatts of energy that is going to be pumped into the system. And we are talking about not only using this power within the Indian subcontinent, but also evacuating this power to the Middle East in the present scenario. We would be net zero by 2047, but at the same time, we will also be a net exporter by 2030 of power. So this also requires energy security. This requires data security. This is like this is like powering the entire India and also powering the Middle East. So that is the way India is going to project itself in the days to come. And this is happening right there in Gujarat in the days to come. We are also talking about another 30,000 megawatt of offshore wind. Can you imagine, like 15 kilometers into the sea, we are putting our turbines on sea. And then where this power evacuation is going to come, the sea cables are going to be 15-20 meters down under the sea, where it is also going to be linked with the undersea cables, where the data is coming into Bangalore, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai through undersea cables. It is going to be plugged right into that. So this data is also again vulnerable. This data is also needs protection. So we are talking about SCADA centers, data centers, which will not be in cloud. I'm sure our friends from the industry would appreciate to it. So that is where I would invite the industry to look into it. And please, you welcome to the growth engine of India that is right there. And in the days to come, the second most happening sector is the renewable energy sector in the next decade for the country after infrastructure. That is where everything is going to be digital. And I'm sure this digital growth is going to be there in the power sector too. So I think I'm able to be justifying what we are doing right now and what we would be doing in the days to come. Thank you.
I know, Mahesh. Thank you. In fact, what I can say in nutshell, something was coming up there in Ladakh as well. So as they say, our loss is your gain. So you gained out of that. You know what I'm talking. The big project has gone to you, what you were just describing. And that is the biggest IT, I would say, AI intervention. And the biggest data center, the wind energy, the best renewable energy things are coming up, and best model, I would say, apart from being partisan or something, you must visit those wonderful facilities in Gujarat and see where you can pitch in the top corporates, the tops like HPs and all. You're talking about your contribution. So this is a good time to pitch in and contribute. One of the biggest things which is going to help, even as he rightly said, we'll be supplying to Middle East when net zero and all those things. Тези concepts are a reality now. So before concluding, because time's up, it's showing, and I think we must try to, somebody has a flight to pick up and other things, but a lot of things we have talked about. Some quick things from C-DAC's point of view, Ramesh. Anything you want to say in 30-40 seconds some big innovation you're planning from AI intervention point of view? As I said that I handled your C-DAC thing, already state data center in JK when I was IT secretary there. Yeah, quickly please.
Okay, in the interest of time, I'll just tell a few things. One thing is, in India, as of now, the AI is surging with a very high speed, and we don't have enough compute capacity or storage capacity or data centers as of now. So that is the biggest challenge what we are facing today. So when I go back, myself being leading an AI team, so the first thing what we see is we don't have compute, we don't have storage. So the C-DAC is coming up with, as I said, 20 petaflop machine very soon in Electronic City. We are commissioning very soon in few months, in couple of months. So that is one big thing. That is open to MSMEs, startups, and many of the government organizations. Like we are inviting all of you to make use of that facility. So that is one thing I would like to say very quickly. And not only that, not only in Bangalore, soon, very soon, we are coming up with a total of 65 petaflop capacity all over the India. So that is one thing. And we are also going towards next 5 years, 10 years roadmaps we have, like what to do, what kind of compute and data storage or data center facilities we need. We have a plan in mind. We are going to come with that also. That is one point I would like to say. The second point, what I would like to emphasize is we have a huge compute and data center present. So do we have the manpower which can utilize it properly and efficiently? So the upskilling part is C-DAC is very actively doing. So as of now, as I said, we have trained 18,000 plus manpower in India to make use of HPC and compute facilities which are present. We are going to continue this. This is the second point I would like to say. So third point, introduction of AI into data center operations. The 4 verticals we are going to look for. The first one is hardware. The second one is software ecosystem. The third one is people. The fourth one is applications. So where we can introduce AI to effectively utilize or optimize the data center operations in a very efficient way. When it comes to the hardware, I would like to say now we are not going with CPU or GPU. Most of the workloads are hybrid in nature, CPU plus GPU plus other accelerator plus quantum is coming. It is very disruptive. The data center definition itself is going to change very soon. So we should have AI in place to automatically manage these hybrid hardware resources. That is the first plan or innovation we are going to work with. The second thing is people. Already I discussed, we have to train them to enable to use these kind of disruptive technologies. The third one is software ecosystem. So currently, for example, a particular person is looking for AI ecosystem. Maybe someone is looking for quantum ecosystem. Someone is looking for weather forecasting softwares. So we have to see, can we have a reconfigurable, AI-enabled reconfigurable software ecosystems automatically based on the application? Can we do that? So that is the third part. The last one is support system with respect to the cooling and other things like the cooling currently, if I go with any data center, so most of the operations are manually monitored. So that we have to change. If you take a medium-sized data center, if you do automate this process, at least 1 lakh data points will be generated in a day. So that has to be, the monitoring should be completely AI-enabled. Automation has to be done. So this is the path or roadmap what we have in our mind.
Great. I think wonderful. So C-DAC, I believe, is working on all these lines, and we hope and wish that these things become a reality. But the more deep you go into it, the more are topics which are debatable and knowledge sharing. But limitation of time is always there. So you are into one of the top pride of the nation, DRDO, even right from Ladakh to Kerala. You are everywhere, whether visible or invisible. So I want to know from this point of view that MOD and especially you all and all ministries are focusing, I'm sure, in upgradation of skills. How I would say DRDO is preparing itself to meet this next AI challenge, and how to incorporate, because you have to see global perspective. Where we stand, we have to meet that competition and be class apart as we have been, and especially in the kind of spirit we have, Atmanirbhar Bharat. So from that perspective, kindly throw some quick bites.
See, Atmanirbharta is a good goal, and in that sense, that's what I said. Our own AI requirements also should be looked upon in a more Atmanirbhar way. in the sense that we have a localized requirement like brought out in power distribution or various other, even in the metros and other things.
Yes.
So those specific critical need, AI should be just seen as a tool. Let's not see AI in any big way. One level is AI is just an automation at some level and raising the notch of an automation at another level. Gen AI hype is there. If we are looking at delivering to end use or even the public at large in good, silos will be there. We are a country with multiple fragmentation. We cannot integrate this country with data centers or clouds. So there will be silos in this country. We have to take care of those and then leverage technology to see how these integrations happen. We have multilingual, good that these technologies are giving good language translation capabilities. Maybe that's where we should leverage a little bit more AI to penetrate AI into people, into the upskilling them. So that is one good part. And the second part, AI can deliver reasonably good solutions these days because of all the deep tech is in the recognition capability, be it video, audio. So these are the streams where the current Gen AIs can go, not in the realm of what is currently spoken as text generation or writing a summary for me or writing a report for me. Those type of AIs may not be used to a domain expert who is working in that area. So in that sense, my request to all the community who is trying to get into these areas, to serving the larger good of the country, to invest in the specialized needs of us rather than going by the what is the in thing available and claim that yes, we are also doing AI and progressing AI.
Great. Thank you, Lakshmi. So I think we can sum up our discussion with a couple of points for food for thought to everybody sitting in the hall and outside as well. We all must understand one thing. I know DRDO would be doing things one way or the other, be it overtly or you can't disclose everything on the dais, but I'm sure you have to work in silos. At the same time, you have to see the national interests, because these are the most important institutions. They are the foundation, and the varied role of DRDO is visible these days. It's not compact role. Now you are everywhere in everything. So I would say that, AI is the need of the hour, and very rightly done. This India AI Summit would open up a lot of vistas for many, corporates, many organizations, and many innovative and things for right from top corporates of the likes of Avaya and HP who are actively part of this summit. So this shows first of all the resolve that how focused the whole nation is towards taking AI forward. And I am seeing a very, very bright future for AI. And I believe this is just the tip of an iceberg. And rightly pointed out, it should not be a trending thing. Last comments were excellent. It should not go by the trend only, but customization has to be there. Where, what kind of AI interventions are required? I recall in academy last year, we were there in phase training. So there were sessions on ChatGPT and many things coming up. But that is as per the trending things. But let's go other than the trend. Where AI is required and how it can be utilized. Data centers, the topic was cloud and data centers. So in cloud-based services which are being offered, that is again the important thing which is going on. Like our data centers have DR always on the clouds these days mostly. And even Government of India, Mahesh, we are talking about, even they are now introducing top, brand clouds everywhere through empanelments and all, through Nixie and all. So that is very much there. But AI interventions are very much required, as you very rightly pointed out, and there should be a scope of maneuverability, there should be a scope of interoperability, and the kind of interventions which are required in the softwares which are being used, the compute which is being used, and the kind of source which is being generated, because you can't do without it. And let's keep refining, let's keep innovating, and let's keep always adding on value to what we have at present. And I'm sure industry is doing its best, and same should be the trend on the government side. We as responsible UTs and state governments must understand the importance of AI and introduce it as and when required, wherever it is to be done, because the kind of results like Kochi Metro has told us, or Gujarat Power are everywhere. You can do so many things. Human error is minimized. And it is always good to have systems giving you those predictions and those forecastings and those kind of, data analysis, which is otherwise wasting a lot of human resource, time, energy. And, you can always convert those things into other kind of activities, not merely on, doing those computes and those things. So I think I will sum up the session with these words only, that AI holds a great future, be it for the data centers or cloud computing, in terms of agility, in terms of resilience. And it is time to take off. Now this is the takeoff stage. From here we should take off to take AI to level next. And with these kinds of summits and sessions, I'm sure this is going to come. And one more thing before concluding, one more last line. They had told me to send the invite. I invite the group for the next kind of program to Ladakh, and you all are welcome to come at 12,000 feet and feel the difference. Last year also we had a very successful summit there on IT transformational conclave, and this year I believe Elets should take a lead, and you should be heading up north towards there and come there and feel the difference, that how IT and transformational activities can happen at the crown of the nation, that is Ladakh. So thank you everybody for being here.